Hi, everyone. I'm Sunny.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Rox. And this is
Literature on the Rocks. Book Club.
Oh, Jesus.
You better watch that one on YouTube.
She rose from the dead. It's great.
That's fun. I enjoyed it. We are coming to you with a spooky edition of our book club.
You couldn't tell by her theme music.
Yeah, if you couldn't tell, you probably, maybe you should start over.
One more time.
One more time. I think you have something you were going to talk about.
I do.
Oh, yeah.
It's more of a warning. But you should never look up your voice actors for your books. So I only looked this dude up because
We're not going to say names.
No, don't do it.
I'm not going to say his name, but I'm going to say the book.
So he'll know.
He'll know. I'm listening to the Plated Prisoner series.
Okay.
Which is a whole lot of harem sex in the first book at the beginning.
All right.
Orgies.
Oh,
Anyways.
Right up her alley.
Were there any?
There were no
axe handles?
axe handles in the booty.
What about the veg?
No.
all
Not
right.
yet anyways. But
Broomsticks.
the book is young. I'm only on chapter
young.
7. But it's a King Midas retelling. The
Okay.
first book anyways in the series. And the dude who was playing King Midas, I was like, I recognize this voice. And I was like, it sounds like Kingfisher from Quicksilver.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
I like Kingfisher's voice. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this is great. And I was like, but in the midst of me Googling to validate that it was, like I couldn't just trust my ears. I had to validate. And then his photo popped up and I was like, no, he doesn't look like the fan art of Kingfisher and it ruined it for me.
Like, you're not Kingfisher. I think I have seen the voice of maybe Zayden.
Let's just preface with everyone's attractive in their own way, okay?
I think what is hard is when you look it up, you have this when you're reading a book, you imagine these book boyfriends to be these gods, right? Like they're all Chris Hemsworth and
They're
better.
chiseled because they're on the war front fighting for Sarah's fame. Like,
Yes. Yes.
Using their magicianry.
No magicianry, just their shadow daddy magic. Mm.
Yes. Shadow daddy me up. And the voices, you're like, yeah, this is definitely his voice. So looking at a picture, it doesn't even matter if they are even
He could have been
attractive.
the most attractive man in the world. He's not Kingfisher.
Yes.
And that's what I'm saying. You're ruining your imaginations.
I do think it's you have this image in your head of who this looks like. And I would say 9 times out of 10, the voice actors do not look like
Clearly,
them at
because
all.
why would they? They're not the
they don't need
character.
to.
I get that.
Yeah.
Just don't ruin it for yourself. Maybe after the book, and you're like, oh, I wonder what the voice actor looks like. Then look it up, because you're not
Even
you're not in chapter 7 of a 5 or 6 book series that you just started.
Now
that I have to deal with King Midas.
And now I'm picturing this 12-year-old little kid he's a baby. He's a baby. And I needed a man in this book.
He definitely looks young. I will say that.
So that's my forewarning for the ladies.
For the ladies.
Because then I looked up the.
I bet you the girls don't.
No,
look
that's what I was
like
gonna
their
say. Then
characters are.
no, but it's.
I'm gonna be a voice actor, and if you looked me up and I was supposed to be playing Violet, you'd be like, oh.
You got a little bit of Ella's downloads in your knees.
She's got a little more junk in her trunk than I imagined.
But I feel like Violet has some junk in her trunk.
Oh.
But if I was
I don't think she's got as much junk as me.
Nobody's got as much junk as you. You got a whole junk drawer in that bag.
Speaking of, okay. So I was coming down my stairs with my kid, and we have this gate at the end of the stairs to keep our dog from going upstairs, and it has 2 sides, and then the middle of it opens up. So when I'm coming down the stairs, even if it's open, I have to turn to get into the kitchen. So I always kind of just turn sideways and walk out. And I nicked it with my butt. And my son was like, what was that sound? And I was like, my booty hit the gate. And he's all, oh, yeah, you got a big booty, mommy. I said, you have a big booty. And he turned around, bent over and pointed and said, look at this booty, mommy. This is a small booty. This is small. You have a big booty. And I said, I think I have a perfectly sized booty. And he was like, mommy, it's a big booty.
Kids
Thanks
say
a
the
lot,
darndest
little jerk.
things.
So anyways, speaking of big butts,
Yeah. Oh my God, that's funny.
That's hilarious.
Violet don't have no junk in the trunk like mama do.
Okay, but if I was a voice actor, I think I would be one of those. You know how they have like those DJs that DJ with stuff on, like Dead Mouse. I would voice actor with a thing on my face, and then I would always be an illusion.
You would be reading science textbooks.
You would be reading science. Is that a knock on her voice?
No, I'm just like, that's what I feel like.
The only thing you could ever read.
No! I just feel like
Astronomy for 7th graders.
all of the college nerds would be like, let me look this up. Look at this woman. And she knows about science. You'd
Okay,
be
yeah, maybe
every
that's-
freshman's wet dream.
Disgusting.
I mean, it's a compliment, I think. However, to protect myself, I would be the Dead Mouse of audiobook
The
narrators.
literary world.
Yes.
I don't know if you know this, but you're on camera right now. And people
This
are
is now
listening
our
to your
life.
voice.
I won't be
Watching
an
our-
audiobook narrator, I don't think. And if I do ever get the
But if
option,
you
I'll make
were-
sure I only do 7th grade science.
If you were a podcaster, would you also?
You dang it! I missed an opportunity
You
to
did.
do
That's
that
what
from
was
the
my
very
point. Like,
beginning. Damn it!
You're in the scenario literally right now without a bag on your head, and I'm disappointed.
Dang it! Oh God! All right, let's do it.
Okay, let's get into this book club. We are doing Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak. We still haven't learned how to say his name.
We
Sorry,
looked it
Jason.
up.
I know, but it's like
I don't remember.
Rekulak.
For those of you just tuning into your first book club, we do 4 questions that are the same every time, and the last 4 questions are specific to the book. Sometimes we do 3, sometimes we do 4. I think we got 4 on this one. So, first impressions is our first question. What were your initial thoughts when you started reading Hidden Pictures? Did the book meet your expectations or surprise you? I started reading this on my own because I was in the mood for something spooky. Once I started it and came across the first image the kid was drawing, I had to share it with the girls, my golden girls. We then collectively decided to read it for the pod. In the middle of the book, really enjoying it, but when it ended, I still really liked it.
I do vividly remember reading it at night while my family was sleeping and having to put the book down. Many times I thought to myself that it was too dark and I needed to come back to the next day. But I really liked it.
Added it to the spook
Yes,
factor.
yes. I really liked it when I read it, and I wasn't surprised that I did because it is a spooky book and it's my vibe.
So as we learned last week, I did not enjoy this book, not one fucking bit. I was excited for a spooky book, and I was deeply disappointed by the lack of spookiness in this book. But I will say that after sitting with the book, I can appreciate the cultural commentary about addiction and mental health in this book. Unresolved questions. Were there any plot points or character arcs that you felt were left unresolved or could have been explored further? And I wrote, why? Just why? Why did they force the child to be transgender? Why did they make the ghost mom possess the child and then make the child murder Caroline? Like, too many whys. I have too many whys for this book. The end.
I don't think I have a ton of unresolved questions. Because I do feel like the book closed everything up nicely. However, and I'll dive into this more in the next question, I didn't love the forcing a child to change genders. Maybe my question is, how did this affect her life in adulthood? Because there was a lot of therapy that went along with that.
Ditto. I said in this story, I think they did a good job of wrapping up all the major points. So if nothing else, it might be good to see if Teddy and Mallory got to spend any time together after. Because I know Teddy goes off to live with his family and does the whole things, but it would have been nice to see that they had a relationship. They were really close. So maybe they could have
I feel like there was
continued
too
a
much
pen pal
trauma
situation
there for her to.
That
have a
would have been my
relationship.
preference.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine.
Alternate ending. If you could change one thing about the ending of Hidden Pictures, what would it be and why? I just said the same thing twice.
Oh.
I said it would have been great if Teddy and Mallory get to stay together. Instead of her going off to her family, maybe she adopted Teddy and then they went off and lived together like a family. You know, like the scene from Matilda. That would have been a true happy ending.
I said C, unresolved questions.
Yeah, you just didn't like the ending, right?
I didn't like the book.
What about the book didn't you like?
All of it. I didn't like the paranormal activity or the proposed paranormal activity. I didn't like the forcing of the child. It wasn't a book that I enjoyed.
Wait, so would you not like any paranormal book that we read? Like, are you not a fan of that theme?
I do like paranormal
The
books.
way they incorporated the
they did it,
paranormal
yes.
at concept.
Yes.
You know how I feel about We Used to Live Here.
I do know how you feel about it.
So my alternate ending is, I think the thing I would change about the ending of this book is Teddy's gender change. I get it's what confirmed it for Mallory that something was up when she saw Teddy in the bathroom or whatever, but I don't think it was necessary, and it did kind of make me like uncomfortable with it a little bit, which maybe was the point, I don't know, but I did enjoy the book overall. But I think you could have had the same impact without all the psychological damage done to a child. But I loved the book. I enjoyed it a lot, so I don't think that I needed it to be changed. It was just the only thing I didn't like about the book was the ending. About, I think you could have had the same impact without
Doing that?
Yeah. Adaptation dreams. If Hidden Pictures were to be adapted into a movie or TV series, who would you cast in the main roles? I did a lot. I did Mallory, Caroline, Ted, Russell, and Adrian.
Oh, damn, you did do a lot. I didn't
Yeah.
do Russell, but I did Mallory, Caroline, Ted, and Adrian.
And I just did Mallory, Caroline, and Ted.
Okay, so let's start with Mallory. For Mallory, I casted Haley Steinfeld, which I feel like we have casted her before.
I casted Sadie Sink.
Okay. I did Jenna Ortega.
Oh, you know what I mean? I think I like them all. So I'm just trying to really envision the story in my head. Is there any that you guys genuinely don't like?
I don't know if I love Jenna Ortega for this one. Actually, I don't know. I think I like them all the same, and I don't love any of them. Even my own, I don't love.
I think I like Sadie Sink.
So for Caroline, I casted Lily Rabe. Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah, I can see that. I casted, my Atlanta. Megan Faye.
Okay. I did Claire Danes.
I thought about her.
I think Megan might be too glamorous looking.
Like too mature.
No, I think she's the right age. I just feel like she looks like a beauty queen. And I didn't picture that for...
So Rox,
I
you get
think
to pick.
I like Lily Robb.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ted, I picked. I don't know why I think this is funny. It's not. I picked Patrick Wilson.
Oh, Owen Wilson's brother? Yeah.
Like, he's like a nice guy, but then he also shows up naked in her, well, he's without pants in her Mallory's bed.
I picked Nick Rowe.
Oh. I picked Jack O'Connell.
Yeah, I think these guys are way too young.
He is 35. I forgot that he was so much
This is
older
not the
than
person I thought it was, actually.
Caroline. Well, I guess you win.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Adrian, I did Diego Boneta.
I almost picked him, but I picked Xolo Maridueña.
Okay, in
He
that
just looks
picture, I
like
could
a
see
cute,
it.
young,
Yeah.
a little cute man. Like he would be helping his daddy's business and then getting ready to go to his Ivy League school in the fall.
Yeah. Solely for the reason that he's supposed to be like more of a college kid,
student, yeah.
I would go with
And you
Rachel's.
For Russell, I picked Josh Brolin.
He's the
He's
sponsor,
the, like,
right?
60-year-old man.
So our ice drop.
Mallory is Sadie Sink. Caroline is Lily Robb. Ted is Patrick Wilson. Russell is Josh Brolin. And Adrian is Xolo Maridueña.
The role of art. The book uses illustrations to enhance the mystery. How did these visuals affect your reading experience? Did they make the story more immersive or unsettling? And I think the illustrations were cool and they added to the reading experience. I don't think the book was unsettling at all, so immersive, sure.
I can't believe you didn't get any creepiness when she could hear things when she's watching her child.
Zero.
Freaking I would be creeped out if my
Zero.
kid was drawing ghost-like pictures.
Zero.
I said they definitely made the story more immersive. Every time I saw one of the photos, it freaked me out, made the story that much more compelling, and really gave me the visual to connect to what was happening. I wasn't able to read the story that at night, so
Yeah.
did it for me.
Yeah. Yeah. It legit gave me the heebie-jeebies. I mentioned it last week in the summary that I highly recommended reading a physical copy of the ebook because the pictures really added to the creepy factor of this book. I liked this aspect of the book a lot and definitely recommend reading it, the physical copy still. Again, I think I said a lot of this in the summary too. Like, I had a hard time reading it because I was afraid to go into my closet at night and change, and definitely the pictures added to that creepy factor.
Mallory's past. Mallory struggles with addiction and is trying to rebuild her life. How does her past shape her decisions throughout the novel? Did you find her to be a reliable narrator? Why or why not? I said, I think her past made her want to try extra hard to prove herself. She was always looking to show her reliability, and it sucked that because of her past, she was always questioned. I understood why her point of view might have been an unreliable source, but it makes me think that in real life, that's probably what it's like for addicts, and they spend so much time trying to build their trust when they decided to get better. I trusted her the whole time. And I gave her the benefit of the doubt that she was healed and sober and doing the right thing and going down the right path. And I felt for her that she actually was doing the right thing and being questioned all the time, because I can't imagine what that would be like in real life, to constantly be looked at as somebody as a liar when really you're being truthful.
Yeah.
That's a terrible way to live.
Yeah. I wrote, I think her doubting herself throughout the book made me doubt her as well a little bit. After reading this actually a few of the books on our TBR, I will say I've come to the conclusion that I don't love an unreliable narrator, because I have a tendency to trust the narrators very quickly, even when they are practically telling me not to. This was one of those cases. Anytime Mallory doubted herself and her memory because of her past, I wanted to encourage her to believe in herself and trust your gut. It wasn't like this was a common thing for her to experience. I did have reservations, but the more I got into the story, the more I felt like Mallory was more reliable than the Maxwells were.
Similar. I said that Mallory led with fear and a lack of confidence, and the Maxwells preyed on this. So I thought she was a reliable narrator. I never once thought that she was using again or that memory was fallible. I believed her.
It does suck that they chose her for that reason.
Yeah.
And then preyed on the fact that they were going to use that against her.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
It do.
Those people, poor people.
Those jerks. Okay, so speaking of those jerks, the Maxwell family. What were your first impressions of Caroline and Ted Maxwell? How did your opinion of them change as the story progressed? And did you sense anything suspicious about them early on? We have read some thrillers that definitely built my red flag barometer and made them spike many times throughout this book. As soon as we met the Maxwells, they did. I don't think I ever suspected Caroline Maxwell to be a murderer, but I was sure the husband was up to something. Caroline surprised me. A lot of this book gave me housemaid vibes, but with a paranormal twist. So I think it's why I very quickly suspected something was up with Ted, because we had read The Housemaid shortly before. And so immediately it was like, who is this guy? And in fact, when we were casting, I even struggled to separate Ted from whatever the housemaid husband was.
I said at first I thought they were your typical family next door. They seemed to be just rainbows and butterflies. But then you start to learn pretty quickly that there's more to that story. I wanted to like them. And as things started to unfold, I just wasn't sure what was real anymore when it came to them. Part of me would have been so disappointed if they had actually found Mallory on drugs, because they kept alluding that maybe she was on it and everybody kept questioning her. And because I trusted Mallory so much, that would have really just ruined the story for me if we had found out that she had relapsed in some way. Not that she couldn't have come back from it, but if she did, then it would have just thrown it all off. Like, dang it, that was the one person. I didn't trust the family. Maybe Russell would have been the other trustworthy person.
Or Adrian.
Yeah.
Because I felt like he was, but I also think he felt very trusting of Mallory really quickly and all right, let's go figure this stuff out, right?
Yeah. Then I forget that she lied about college and all that stuff, and then it's like, dang, you really did dig yourself a hole there.
Yeah.
Although,
she did.
I don't know, warranted. She didn't want people to know her crappy past. I would have probably lied about it too.
You're not supposed to, though. That's part of your
I know, but
you're supposed to be upfront about the ways of your world.
Yeah, you can be upfront once the people have trust you.
You can go back on your lies once you finally got them to trust you.
Blow up your entire life again.
I didn't like Ted from the beginning, and I got red flags from Caroline pretty quickly. I thought her quickness to bridge tough topics and the way she handled certain things was off.
Right.
Like when they made a comment about Teddy asking about something like anatomy or something. Oh, he asked about Mallory's anatomy. And she brought all these sexually explicit books for a child to look at. And that seemed like a lot. Or when Ted was found in her cottage and she just kind of brushed it off like, oh, he thinks you're going to sue us. Has he ever touched you? It just felt very off that she was so easy.
She was definitely a little.
Well, she was trying to cover up their freaking kidnapping.
Yeah, but it was very odd. That was red flags. The way she bridged topics was made me very wary of her.
She was trying to find holes and ways to go, oh yeah, we're going to be able to pin this shit on this girl because she's sleeping with my husband. She's doing drugs.
The audacity.
She killed the
Look at this
neighbor.
old man.
Look at this lady.
Addiction and trauma. How does Hidden Pictures explore the theme of addiction and recovery? Do you think the novel portrays Mallory's struggles realistically? And I was harsh on this book last week. I stand by my rating and overall critique of the book. However, I will say that the author did a good job of exploring recovery and society's view of people in sobriety. Like, I don't deeply know people who are in sobriety and what their day-to-day looks like. So I think that Mallory's struggle is realistic. I think that somebody who is in sobriety, like I have a friend who is dating someone who's in recovery, and they're very fresh into their recovery. So any little thing, they're like,
trigger.
oh, well, they did this different today. So should I go ask? Like, does that? So I understand how society looks at, like, you're just ready to, at a dime, flip and start using again. So I could see how that was highlighted with their constant, granted, it was to hide their shadiness, but I feel like that is a common theme in our culture, to be very untrusting of the person who's in sobriety.
Yeah. Okay. I said I don't have a personal connection, like with somebody very, very close to me that had addiction, but I would imagine that the struggle to have life post addiction, so getting a job and how people view you and the constant feel that they need to be proving themselves to those around them, is probably a pretty accurate depiction from my own assumptions, because I don't have anyone that I'm dealing with on a daily basis that's gone through this. It sounds like it was a pretty accurate depiction to me from what I could assume the life of someone in recovery would have to deal with.
I want to say yes. While I have not had personal struggles with addiction and recovery, I was pretty close to it. I grew up with parents who both struggled with addiction when I was young and then went through and live in recovery now. Watching them go through what they did, I can say with certainty that recovery is not easy. It is its own full-time job filled with steps that act as SOPs and sometimes even daily meetings. While it's not the focus of the book, the brief or even sort of blanket statements about recovery felt real to me. Again, I don't have personal experience with addiction, as in I myself have never been addicted and then went through recovery, but I've been pretty close to the people who have and appreciated some of the realness in this book that was mentioned. I was determined not to cry, so that's where it ends, people.
That's good. Yeah, you did great.
Okay, that's a wrap on this episode of Literature on the Rocks. We've traced every chilling sketch and hidden pictures by Jason Rekulak, and honestly, some of those drawings are going to follow us into our nightmares. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. We're here for you every Wednesday.
Yep. If this episode sketched a smile or gave you a good scare, rate and review us. It helps other mystery seekers find their way into the story.
And because some things can't stay hidden forever, follow @LitOnTheRocksPod on Instagram and TikTok, and creep over to Literature on the Rocks before the next ghost makes itself known.
Until next time, may the lies stay buried and the shadows stay quiet, and maybe the cocktails keep the fear at bay. Cheers!
Toodaloo!
Bye.